All right, everybody. This is round 2 with Mauro Tanaka. Last time we did this, for some reason, it did not go through. I see that I have a view count on my screen, so I know that I'm live right now. So that's really cool. Mauro is a super fan of the Cardinals. What's up, Jay in the Bay? And I wanted to get his viewpoint on his divisional opponent. But I'm just going to let Mauro kind of introduce himself, talk about his channel and what his content is, and then we'll kind of go from there.
All right. Well, thank you for having me here. Let's see. I'm pretty sure my mic works, so let me know in the
Yeah,
comment
you're
section,
good.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
perfect. Well, I'm very excited to be here talking with a 49ers fan. Beforehand, I wasn't really a fan of 49ers, but, one of my subscribers is actually Jay in the Bay, 49ers fan for a couple months. So I was like, okay, trying to give some respect. He likes me. I like his content. So it's like, trying to be respectable to every different fan YouTubers. So I'm very happy to talk with another 49ers fan here. And yeah, let's talk about because this upcoming season is going to be tough but fun, especially in this NFC West.
Definitely. NFC West is a incredibly tough division. I feel like all 4 teams could make the playoffs. The live stream that we did that didn't get recorded or whatever, we talked about the possibility of having maybe all 4 teams in the playoffs. I mean, if it not saying it's a definite possibility, but it could happen. This is a highly competitive division. I feel like, and I'll admit this as a 49ers fan, I think a lot of us are sleeping on the Cardinals because we see that they added some older pieces. Not some, JJ Watt's a little up there in age and injuries. Same thing with AJ Green. So a lot of fans automatically say, like, oh, what are the Cardinals doing? But the more and more I think about it, the more and more I think that if we sleep on them, that might be the team that actually surprises everybody. So I feel like every team is dangerous enough to take this division. I feel like the most likely team, and this is coming from a 49ers fan, the most likely team probably is the Rams. And then you'd probably go Seattle, then us, then you. Just being realistic. I'm not trying to, I'm a Niners fan, but I'm just being completely realistic. That's just how I can see other people seeing it. But I'm going to ask you I'm going to let you go first. What was your thought on the offseason for the Cardinals and as far as free agency and the draft? What did you take from it? What's your overall kind of assessment or feeling?
Well, our last 2 off season has been very crazy and aggressive. We got a beast of a wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, which blew everyone's mind for a blockbuster trade. And we saw the Arizona Cardinals are going to be pretty much complete offensive side, and we saw how they got more explosive on the offensive side. However, defense, it was still a struggle. Still couldn't make a place. Injury as well. Now this year, obviously, we got a blockbuster, not a trade, a contract with J.J. Watt, which is a former defensive player of the year who, dominates in the defensive side. And we need that kind of players. Not only his skill set, but also his mentality, his leadership, what I'm hoping that he can bring to these Arizona Cardinals teams to a championship caliber. Obviously, there's other signings like A.J. Brown. This is a little surprising, but we need more depth on the wide receiver core, not only because we never know if Fitz is going to come back, which I'm wishing, and our secondary is still young. We got a great defensive side now. We got another linebacker for who's it, Zaven Collins, very dynamic guy, but we'll see how it goes. And I like so far. We had to let a couple guys go, but I like to refresh in the team and hopefully we can compete in this tough division, which I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's this division from top to bottom has playmakers on pretty much every team. The biggest issue with the 49ers, I'm sure you remember from when we tried to record this the last time, is just the injuries. The 49ers have as skilled of a, I'd say 5 players, 6 player deep on their roster of like all-star Pro Bowl caliber type individuals. But the way I look at it is everything is predicated on health. I feel like you guys, and I'm going to ask you this. I feel like your quarterback can take another step to get better. And I guess my question to you is putting him into the question, and as far and other Cardinals players as well. What players are you kind of like hoping step up this year? Take the next step. Is it just Kyler Murray? Do you see other players on the roster that you're excited to see if they can take that kind of like leap forward? To kind of further their career type thing?
Well, first of all, Kyle Murray is a big one, but he made a big step last season, and hopefully he keeps healthy and consistent because you guys almost knocked his leg. But otherwise, we actually drafted a lot of wide receiver when Kyler was drafted. So this is going to be their third year, fourth year, a couple of guys, young wide receiver cores from secondary. So I'll wish them, stay consistent, healthy, and make some big plays. We got another wide receiver from who's the name? Randall Moe, which a lot of people are having a high expectation, making big plays in big games. So there's that. And also another big guy that I want to mention is Isaiah Simmons, or linebacker we got from last year. It's going to be year 2. He had a hard time adapting to the game speed of this NFL and this transition. Also, the coach not making the best call as well, but hopefully his dynamism and aggressiveness, his skill set brings to make this defense better, because you learn your mistakes from year 1, and that's how I'm expecting to make him a progressive year 2 like Kyler Murray did, but this time in defensive side.
Yeah, a lot of was made of last year, when he was drafted, Simmons, of saying he was going to be kind of like the Kittle stopper. And he struggled a little bit last year from what I observed watching, Niners and Cardinals games, and also, listening to analysts talk about, him struggling a little bit. The NFL is the NFL is a whole different game than college. And, I feel like sometimes when guys come in and they get labels put on them right away to be something like a Kittle stopper, I feel like that's unneeded and unfair pressure. When Fred Warner was drafted, he was a 3rd rounder. So the expectations, of course, the higher you go in, the rounds, as far as, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, the lower the expectation is. So I feel like, it bodes well for him that he played last year and experienced what he did. And I feel like he'll be a better player going forward. You guys have a really good pass rush, and I think that's going to help him tremendously. So, yeah, I mean, to me with the Cardinals, the players that you have to really watch out for is DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. Our first matchup with you guys, we got 8 and alive, and then they put Jason Verrett on the second time, and we had a little bit more success. But he's definitely a pain in the ass as far as a player to cover. I mean, the fact that you guys got him for what you got him for from the Texans is amazing. A lot of Niners fans were in a similar mindset when they thought maybe we had a chance at getting Julio. I knew that was never going to happen. But yeah, you get excited when you have a player that's pretty dynamic and has a chance to be on your team. Unfortunately for us, it didn't happen. But at the same time, you got to go with what you got. So I think you guys are talented enough to compete in the NFC West. Again, a lot of people are putting the downers on you guys and saying, you're the team that might finish last, which to me, if I was a fan of your team or a player, I'd be taking that as motivation. But we don't know, man. We still got 2 months till the season starts. There's a lot of time. Injuries can happen in training camp. Things can happen. Trey Lance could be the starter. Who knows? One of my viewers asked me, I don't even know if he's still in here. I apologize. But he asked me, as a Cardinals fan, what is your impression on Trey Lance, the 49ers drafting Trey Lance? What is your feeling about it? Are you happy, sad, angry that Jimmy Garoppolo won't be the starter anymore, and that you have someone like Trey Lance? What is your opinion on that?
Well, he's going to be dynamic for sure. You never can predict what a rookie quarterback can do, especially from historically, we get our ass whipped by rookie quarterbacks. Like last year, we got not destroyed, but we lost to Tua Tagovailoa, which is like his second or third NFL start game against Miami, and also previous of this season, it was against Kyle Allen, which he was in Panthers, and he played like a Pro Bowl. So these rookie quarterbacks really gives a headache because we cannot predict what kind of type of play make. Like if it's Jimmy G, I'm not trying to underestimate. He's a great quarterback, but you can kind of have an idea what he does from like previous games or series. So that's why the Cardinals hoping for make adjustment second game because we play twice a year. So, but Trey Lance is going to be a painful. He got some great skill sets. I'm pretty sure he can run. I don't think he can run as Kyler does, but it's going to be exciting. I'll definitely keep eyes on him.
As far as the Niners, the draft and free agency, I think the Niners did a reasonably well job keeping their core roster together. I'm going to read this. Hold on a second. So Tommy Huxley put in the super chat that this is exactly what the Cardinals paid for D-Hop. He donated $2 to the super chat. Thank you, Tommy. Pretty much. You guys paid pretty much nothing for him. So, yeah, that franchise in the Texans is a whole other discussion for a whole other video or live stream. I mean, they're just they're a joke of a franchise, and the fact that they gave a player away like Hopkins, who's an All-Pro, Pro Bowler, a very, very elite level player, that's pathetically sad. Thank you, Tommy. I apologize. I have to try to read the chat more. I get a little bit sidetracked. So going back to what the Niners did, so we did a lot to keep a lot of our core players, as you can see, keeping Kyle, Jason Verrett, keeping other players to try to keep the core of this team as close to the 2019 as possible. Of course, the two big question marks on this defense really are Jordan Reed, yeah, Nick Bosa, and of course our man, he's escaping me right now, pass rusher extraordinaire who's always injured, D Ford, excuse me. Those two big question marks are what I think the Niners defenses is really going to kind of take what direction they're going to go in one way or the other. Like I said, they kept a lot of core players. A lot of them are one-year deals, though. So transitioning into the draft, you can see the Niners drafted two corners, Demadier Lenore, and they also drafted Ambry Thomas, two corners. The Niners are definitely looking to the future as far as with their, having to give up, not being able to re-sign certain players. So this past draft of the 49ers was very, like depth, like they went after certain skill positions in this draft. Like, of course, everybody knows they drafted Trey Lance. They gave up the farm to draft him, coming up to number 3 overall. And then, drafting a guy like Aaron Banks at right guard, drafting two corners, drafting another left guard / left tackle, a couple of running backs. Like this draft was very specific for the 49ers. So, and I like these are positions that the 49ers just don't want to be caught without the bodies. Because for some reason, a lot of these positions that the Niners targeted in the draft have had issues with injuries. So it's almost like they doubled down, even tripled down on certain positions in the draft so that they're not going to be caught, without the bodies. My issue, last year playing you guys is, like Kyler Murray is a pain. Those type of quarterbacks in general, like Russell Wilson, are a pain. So, sending as many players at those guys as possibly can is always better. The Niners are changing over to a different defense. Well, not a different defense, but they have a new defensive coordinator this year. And I feel like, they're going to be more of an attack style defense. Before it was mainly cover 3, sit back, play coverage, rush 4. They'll probably do some of that still this year, but I think the Niners are definitely going to be a little bit more multiple in their defensive looks, and especially when you have to play a team like the Cardinals or a team like the Seahawks who have quarterbacks that can move around, you definitely have to be multiple in your looks. Otherwise, you're going to get shredded alive. So I'm definitely excited about the moves we made. I'm excited about cleaning up the quarterback room and bringing in a rookie like Trey Lance. But if you ask anybody who's a 49ers fan, whether in the comments or in general, it comes down to the injuries, and can we sustain a 17 game regular season plus playoffs and have a legitimate shot at making a run. So I think that the similarities with the Niners and the Cardinals is just, all these teams is just staying healthy. If you go into the season with all the players that you have, at the top of your depth chart and everybody stays healthy, then yeah, your expectations should be through the roof. But, we'll see. This is like I said, there's 2 months to go. A lot can change, but I feel like the NFC West is going to be highly competitive. If you had to give yourself expectations this year / win-loss record kind of thing, how would you assess that? I mean, what's your honest opinion? Not trying to make like a splashy answer, but like an honest as you can be answer from a Cardinals fan, expectation wise and record wise.
Correct. So this year is different. We got 17 games. So now the Cardinals finished up 8-8 last year. They started very good until the Hail Mary, and they collapsed, as you guys know. So and ended up 8-8. Now, expectation obviously it has to be better than last year. You got to do better every year, and obviously playoffs. Playoffs should be the normal, not even like expected. That should be the normal. So And expectations wise, I'll say obviously I'm hoping for a championship caliber team, but a deep playoff run. So win a wild card in playoffs. At least that's one of my expectations. Predictions, I made 11 wins, 6 losses, and make the second of the NFC West because we're third last year. We're just 1 win away to make a wild card. So, we got to do better than last year. We paid some players, and we do expect they perform in the field. And that's my prediction.
I wanted to ask you a question that I didn't ask you in the intro. I wanted you to kind of let my viewers in on how a few years you've actually been in the United States and like kind of watch you into the Arizona Cardinals. You told me that last time, again, when we were recording and it didn't record, and I thought it was super interesting. Just kind of give people a little bit of an insight because you're speaking of the American language is really good. So when you told me you've only been in the country 4 years, I was blown away. I'm like, you kidding me? If this was the way around and I was going to your country, I would never adapt. So let everybody know about that.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Japan, Tokyo, Japan, where the Olympics going to be hosted. Big city, lived there for an entire life, and until high school. Then I moved here 4 years ago for a new opportunity. Just challenge and compete like everyone says. I don't want to end it up as just like an average person. If there's opportunity, that's what I did. I choose here in the United States. And funny thing, how did I first find out about the Cardinals? Well, I knew about American football. I knew the NFL, but I didn't really know about I knew football. I didn't know rules. I didn't know really teams. I know what's American football is about. It was funny. I was just driving down by this highway, and suddenly I see this big silver dome, and I was wondering what kind of UFO looking stadium is this? And I find out it was American football. So I was like, okay, well, since I live like 15, 20 minutes away from there, I was like, give a shot and watch it. And I was impressed how this football, it's not on the football. Obviously, it's high competitive. It's number 1 in the world, no doubt about that. But the entertainment, the fans, it's in another level, another dimension. So that really felt my heart. And man, I just started liking football. Support your home team. Even I'm not from here, but I really like it. They stole my heart. And yeah, as I become supporting from the worst years now to championship competitive teams. So like the
That's how
process, keep
that's how it
supporting.
should be.
Then yeah, I'm here.
Well, welcome to the United States. We're happy to have you.
Thank
And I'm glad you enjoy American football. It's unfortunate you're not a 49ers fan, but
you.
you are living in Arizona, so that kind of makes
Maybe
sense.
if I move to San Francisco, maybe San Jose.
Um, one of my viewers, I'm going to try to not butcher your name here. His name is Michael Nobriga. Hopefully I say that right. If not, let me know. He says our division is going to be flat out crazy. And then he asked, what do you think? What is his prediction of the Arizona Cardinals versus the 49ers? I personally can see a split. I don't think I'd never assume sweep. I just don't think this division you can go from top to bottom and automatically say sweep. I mean, remember last year you guys came into our building, beat us down, we lost, and then we come into your guys' building with like a junior varsity roster and are able to come
You
away
beat
with the
us.
win. So it's just so unpredictable. What's your prediction? 2-0, 1-1. Be honest. If you think you're going to sweep us, let us know.
Well, obviously, if you want to support a team, you got to say, 16-0. You got to go like sweep everyone. But to be realistic, I think it's going to be split. If we were playing home, I expected a win at home at least. But last time I believe we swept you is 2018, and that was one of the worst years. And we swept. You guys almost beat us at home, but we came back. I do believe so. And that was only 3 wins. That was 2 wins and 1 win from Packers. And then last season, 2019, we lost both games, which was very close, very competitive game. Last year, 1-1. So I do believe it's going to be 1-1. Very competitive. You never can predict. You can never underestimate a team. But, to win this division, to try to increase the percentage to go to the playoffs, especially the wild card in this competitive division, we need a minimum 1 win from each team. And I do believe the Cardinals will get 1 win at least from the 49ers.
I feel like the Niners will sweep at least one of their division rivals this year. And then I could see a split with the other two.
Didn't you guys
like
sweep
last
the
year?
Rams?
Yeah, we beat the Rams twice last year, which is, I don't know how we have their number. They're a damn well coached team. Say what you want about Jared Goff, but he put up some numbers. He was pretty damn productive. He's like Jimmy, you get people around his feet and you put pressure in his face and they have the inability to kind of take their game to another level. Fernando says, how is it going? It's going great, buddy. Thanks for dropping in on the stream here. Doing a little bit something different. We're doing a little bit of a crossover stream. Mauro is the last of the Magic Four. I plan on and want to. Hello, Peo Time. What is up, my man? He is a Rams YouTuber, fantastic guy, like one of the nicest guys ever to be a YouTuber. So positive. I wish I was as positive as he was. I think it was him that I forgot who turned me on tomorrow after I just did some research on my own. But yeah, so far so good with the NFC West. I feel like everybody I've interviewed has been really, really nice. Everybody's super realistic. Nobody kind of goes in on the trash talk route, which I don't really respect anyways. I think trash talking is for talking heads on television who get paid money they don't deserve. I try to keep it as cool as possible so that everybody feels included. Dripping by the same. Wait, what does it say? Dropping by to make sure the Ramily is getting some love. Yeah, definitely. We were just talking about how we swept you guys last year. I apologize.
Seems like you'll never beat the Rams.
We were just talking about how the Niners and Cardinals could split each other and that the Niners would have we're probably going to have at least one team in the division that we're going to sweep. I don't know. Mauro kind of came to the conclusion that it might be the Rams again. I'm not saying it's going to be, but Just, I just feel like that division is super competitive, that I feel at least one team's going to get. I would assume we can sweep one of these teams, maybe two, but I'm a realistic guy. I just want to get to the season first without any injuries. There is no Ramley. Oh, there is a Ramley, Tommy. It's just we're not part of it, but it definitely exists for sure. Thanks for the shout out. Sorry, I was just saying, we had to pick a team that we might sweep next year, and the Rams just kind of fell into our lap. So, yeah, I mean, like, this is such a dead part of the off season right now, where there's actually zero going on. You know what I mean? There's just no news, which is good news. Peo Time wants to know, I would love to know if Mauro thinks if Cliff Kingsbury is the coach long-term for the Cards. What's your opinion on that one?
That's a tough one. He's in a hot seat because he's not 100% been adapting to the NFL scheme. He brought a, dynamic air raid system, and later he adapted run rate, which is like a more run game. But there has been questionable coachings, that's for sure, which it gives a little too much to Kyler to do. And we wish we had an offensive coordinator, but he's technically a head coach / offensive coordinator. So we just want to see a better coaching and just execute at the game best as you can, and also come up with a great game plan, because there was like a couple games that we did not come up with a great game plan, especially against the Rams, and they just pretty much wipe our ass because we did not have plans and answer against the Rams.
I think that just shows his inexperience. There was people thought that there was better coaching prospects out there to be hired. You get guys like Stephen A. Smith just losing their mind over it. It's hard to say because, your quarterback Kyler makes, coaching look good, but once teams adapt to Kyler, then the coach has to adapt to the adaptation themselves, right, and make changes accordingly. If you remember Colin Kaepernick, when he burst onto the scene in 2012, I think it was, he took the league by storm, right? That whole season, that second half of that season, we went on to get to the Super Bowl. And then the Ravens kind of showed the blueprint of how to beat them. And then as Colin's career went on, you saw the downhill slide of his career where teams adjusted, but the coaching or the people in charge of, Colin Kaepernick weren't able to adjust off the adjustment. So it's going to be interesting to see if your coach is able to adjust when teams start learning ways to, keep your quarterback in the pocket and make them throw from the pocket. Because the Niners showed a little bit last year of kind of a way to kind of get to him, just blitzing from the slot with K'Wan Williams and stuff like that. But, that's one game. I still think players that play baseball and play in the NFL have a distinct advantage. The arm angles, the ability to throw off platform. I mean, I think his arm is amazing, just like Russell's. I think Russell played baseball as well. So it'll be interesting, man. What's that?
You got drafted from MLB too.
Yeah. Those quarterbacks always have a distinct advantage of being able to make really awkward throws from really odd arm angles and arm slots. So what would be your hope and expectation for the 49ers? Would you rather face Jimmy Garoppolo and all his, average quarterback skills, or would you rather face a guy like Trey Lance? Like, what's your honest opinion if you had to face somebody?
I mean, I would have loved to see Jimmy G, because I said in the beginning, we never play really good against rookie quarterbacks because we never know how they played. So, but Jimmy G, if he doesn't make a mistake, he's just very, accurate and I guess just great in all around, like not super dynamic or fancy like Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady, but he makes the right play and the right call from what I see from a Cardinals fan perspective. So I want to see definitely him healthy, so it gets this game more competitive. Obviously, his skill set and experience, I think that will outsmart more Trey Lance, and also gets healthier. But I do prefer Jimmy G to be as a starter to face the Cardinals.
Peo Time asked, or not asked, but said that Fitz is one of his favorite non-Rams players. He said, what are your thoughts on if he should retire or not, Larry Fitzgerald? I'm on the mindset of thinking that he should hang it up, personally. But what is your opinion as a Cardinals fan? Do you want to see him more?
I mean, it's his decision. Obviously, he's a player, but at the same time, he's a human. So obviously, if there's a limit, but there is, but it hasn't been nothing since. So if he's still there, then I think he's going to come back. I'm pretty sure he's still waiting to the Phoenix Suns, the basketball team, which they're in the NBA Finals right now. He's a minority stakeholder. So imagine if they win, that actually might motivate him to keep playing. Because the more older it gets, it's tough to keep your mentality and your body to highest level. Because obviously he's not back in his prime, but he still provides a great leadership and this influence around the NFL fan base and just NFL in general. So I do believe he might come back, but the time is almost coming up. So yes, but every time when Larry's in the field or in front of everyone, it definitely inspires and gives the great. This is a human. He's just a great human.
Yes.
Not only just a football player. So I really love him, and hopefully he comes back front of the year.
Coming from a 49ers fan perspective, Larry Fitzgerald is definitely one of my favorite non-49er players. I don't have a ton of players that I love that are on my team, but he's definitely ranks at the very top of that list. Peo Time also asked a question to you, my man. He said, who is a Cards player no one is talking about, but will know next season? You gave me Isaiah Simmons as someone who you expect to take the next step. Is there a player that we don't know as Niners fans that you think might take another leap?
That's a hard one, but I'll go a cornerback route. His name is Byron Murphy. He was one of the shutdown corners that tapped out a fourth down conversion the first game. I don't know if you guys remember, but he is the one I expect him to become a dominant cornerback, a defensive back. He's very getting aggressive, because there's a tag with Buda Baker, which did a phenomenal job last year. But in the defensive back side, I want to see this cornerback, Byron Murphy, coming strong, third year, aggressive, be smart, and shutting down corners. Because, we got rid of Pappy, we signed some veterans, but we want to see what kind of these, young guys to bring up to the next level. So I'll pick up Byron Murphy Jr.
If I had to pick a 49ers fan who I want to see that no one's talking about, I would like to see Dre Greenlaw improve more. He had a tough year last year in coverage. Trying to think who else. I just want to see Jason Verrett really just stay healthy. I want to see if he could do back-to-back years playing really high level. Because when he was healthy last year, he was one of the top 3 or 4 corners in the NFL, hands down. And this is a guy that's been hurt since 2016, 2017. I mean, we're talking lower leg injury on top of lower leg injury, out for the season, multiple seasons in a row. But if there's one player that I'm expecting that people outside of the 49ers are really not aware of, and I think it's Jalen Hurd. I mean, Jalen Hurd was drafted. He's a super athletic player who was a running back in college, then switched over to play wide receiver. And he has just unfortunately been hurt 2 straight years in a row in training camp. First year he injured his back, injured it so bad he couldn't travel with the team to the Super Bowl. And then last year on a side field, he blew out his meniscus or ACL or his whole knee doing side work. So I think it was his knee. It could have been his Achilles. I'm not sure. I forget. At this point, it doesn't matter because so many Niner players are always hurt. I forget who has what injury. But, I would like to see him because I want to see what we got. I interviewed a local radio, Bay Area radio guy on my channel named Larry Kruger. And I asked Larry, I said, is this kind of a make or break season for Jalen Hurd? And he said, yeah. If we don't see anything from Jalen Hurd this year, I think it's pretty much safe to assume that it's time to move in a new direction. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate. Injuries are part of the game, but this is a productivity business. This is a business where availability is your best ability, and he hasn't been available. He showed a flash or two in a preseason game against the Dallas Cowboys 2 years ago, but that's it. That's all we've seen. So that would be my guy to watch, and my guy who people outside the 49ers, like 49er fans, know who Jalen Hurd is. Everybody knows who he is, who's a Niners fan. They know he's the guy that hasn't played, who's been hurt. But outside of our fan base, not a lot of people even know who the hell he is. So that would be my dude for sure. Payo Time says, I'll look for Murphy at cornerback. Got to tell you, Woods and Cup and crew to look out for him. Yeah, that's a scary bunch over there in LA, man. Cooper Cup and the rest of that crew, man. I feel like Kyle Shanahan and the coach of the Rams, his name is escaping me. I'm having horrible. I have to take like ginseng or something before I do these live streams. But I feel like both of those coaches are one and the same. They both come from the same kind of background. I think the Rams coach, if you guys can give me his name, because I totally forgot. It totally is escaping me right now. Please type it in the chat for me. Oh, wait. Unless I'll ask my Google speaker for it. I'm whiffing on the coach of the Rams right now. Point being, he coached under Kyle Shanahan. They pretty much run the exact same offense. So I always respect what the Rams can do from a strategic offensive game plan. McVay, thank you. So yeah, those two always scare the hell out of me. Kingsbury is a little bit of a, like you said, he's a question mark. Can he do it when his quarterback isn't playing lights out? Can he adjust? Can he make adjustments to the adjustments? So that'll be interesting. Trying to think here. Let me see. Players to watch. Trying to think of other questions I could ask you. What is your opinion? How do you feel personally now that we have fans back in the stands? How much of a change, how much of an advantage, how much of a difference will it make for the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals, 49ers? The fans will be back in the stands. What's your honest opinion about that? Because I'm pretty excited to see fans back.
I mean, fans makes a difference, that's for sure. Without fans, lose the energy, and players. I see a lot of players seeing they miss the fans, so that's a huge part of the game. Now, the thing is, I see a lot of 49ers fans here in Arizona, so technically, I would not like to see that because it's a home game, but it's still a part of the game. So, yeah, I mean, but the fans definitely makes it, creates big part of this, football game. Not only is football game, but the entire sport. Fans bring the energy that, boosts the home game and, the team that try to get this win. So yeah, I'm trying to get there. I got a season ticket, so very excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you're able to live in that city and experience that. I'm a Niners fan, but I'm on the East Coast of the United States. I live in New York, middle of New York. They call it Western New York. And my team is a West Coast team. So guys like Jay in the Bay and other 49ers YouTubers, a lot of them, 49ers Ultimate Report, all of those guys are Bay Area guys. And I'm a New Yorker. So they have a different perspective. I would love to take the trip out there one of these days when money helps or when money is available. I've done some improvements to my house. So money's definitely short right now. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see fans in the stands. it definitely brings a different energy to the game. Especially like on third down or fourth down, or when the defense is on the field and you got to get a big stop. It definitely helps to have that loud crowd behind you. So I'm going to ask you. I've had you on, and I've had some other people from the NFC West on. So as you're here right now with me, would you be interested in doing an NFC roundtable either before the season or during the season or on a regular basis, whatever our schedules can permit? I've had Squabo says on my channel, or Squabo says on my channel, he's fantastic. Payo Time is awesome. You're awesome. Would you want to do something like that? Would that be something that interests you or not?
Oh, absolutely. If that fills up the NFC West division, I will absolutely love to do. I just had a little bit not so well backstory with a Seahawks fan, but I'll definitely adapt to it.
Yeah, most of the, like I said, all the guys I've interviewed have been pretty not to say low energy, but no one's like controversial. No one's trying to start a fight. And if that's the type of person you are, you're not welcome. Like, I'm not going to have you on a live stream after that.
You want the team to win, but at the same time, it's about the game. You got to respect each other as well. So like the players does, so we got to do so.
Right. And in the end, it's just a game. It's not life or death. You know what I mean? Like, I still got to go to work every day. I'm not popular enough as a YouTuber to quit my job. So, I'm not trying to get myself in trouble. I'm trying to keep it PG or PG-13, you can talk trash. You could do it playfully. You don't have to get personal. If some people like to get personal and they start talking about religion or politics, and it's just like, whoa. That's not what I'm about. I don't want to do that, because then that causes the haters to come to the stream, and then people hate, and then it causes a whole other problem. So, I'm up for always having different minds, different opinions, people from different fan bases. I've been only doing Niners stuff with my channel since I started. So the last, I'd say 3 weeks or so to 4 weeks since I had Payo, Squabo says, and you, I've kind of like jumped outside my comfort zone. So if you're on, we just pretty much have to get the schedules of everybody and see if we can find a day that we're all available. It could maybe change week to week. We could do it once before the season starts, but I feel like we've already done that with all of us individually. So maybe do it again as the season is going, because we've already done it. What really are we going to be talking about? I feel like if games have been played and things have started to happen in the NFL, it would be more interesting.
Looks good, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. What are we really going to talk about at this point? Like, there's really nothing going on. Like there was an interview about how the Niners were actually extremely interested about getting in the pursuit of Matthew Stafford, and that they were told to take a break on it, and that nothing was going to happen. And then within half an hour, 15 minutes, the Rams made the trade for him. So there's all these little stories that are coming out right now in the dead part of the year that are all kind of interesting, but really to me, they're just kind of like filler, they're just filler right now. It doesn't matter anymore if we had a chance to get Matthew Stafford. We have Trey Lance. That ship sailed. Tommy Huxley said before Payo, I'm a bigger McVay fan. You're a bigger McVay fan than Payo Time? Wait, what? Explain yourself.
Oh, he said he typed out the McName Sean McVay's name, so that's why he say my bigger McVay fan. He typed before the Rams YouTuber Payo.
No, I don't think you're a bigger McVay fan. I just think that Payo was slow to the draw on the keyboard, or I don't know exactly what happened there. Yeah, so it's like I said, it's a slow time of year, not a ton going on. I guess in closing, I'll just say that I wish your team all the best, just not when you play us. I wish health and prosperity, not just with your team, but with you. I hope all is well on your end. And I definitely would like to do a mid-season discussion where we can talk about the state of our teams, whether it be bad or good. Hopefully on all of our teams we're really good, but the chances of that happening are probably pretty slim to none. Payo Time has asked if Tommy Huxley's going to join the Ramily. Oh, Jesus.
That means you have to leave your channel.
I mean, Tommy, you're more than welcome to go to the Ramily. You just can't take up residence in the 49ers empire anymore. If that's the case. But yeah, I definitely would like to collaborate in the future with all of you guys. Like I said, keep it stay safe and healthy on everybody's side. Like I said, I hope your team is successful, just not when you play us. That's all I got to say. I'm excited for the season coming, man. I cannot wait. I hope everybody's healthy during training camp and we get to a point in the season, or we get to the regular season, and we all can have fun and enjoy football back the way it's supposed to be with fans in the stands. It's going to be completely different. All I know is last year watching that first 49er game with no fans in the stands was very, very odd. It just felt, coming off that Super Bowl loss, it just felt really horrible. So I'm glad to see things going back to normal very, very soon. Tommy Huxley here says, hell nah, man, but I subbed to Payo's channel because he's a very nice Lamb fan with good content. Agreed.
There you go.
I don't know why you guys call them the Lambs. I don't get it. But yeah, so yeah, it was definitely nice having you on. I know you got to get ready for Jay in the Bay. I hope you have fun with him. And I'm subbed to your channel, so
same as well.
I'll definitely keep in touch with your channel. Tommy Huxley says Niners for life. Definitely.
There you go.
And I will definitely see you on the flip side, brother. Hope all is well and everything is good in your side, and you stay safe and healthy.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here.
All right, brother. Take care.